Here is another question that someone asked and had a difficult time explaining to them. So I thought I would make a video, and I know it's not going to be the #1 best video that I've ever made, but I'll settle for somewhere in the top 200. That'll be fine. And the problem that I couldn't get across to them was the headroom height. And here you can see where we have a relatively level surface providing us with a headroom height of about 8'4". However, that is not going to be the case if we have a sloped hill, and this is a situation that they're dealing with. And if you are going to extend the patio length far enough, there's a good chance that you're going to reduce the headroom height. And the last thing you want to do is hit your head on the corner of one of these beams. And of course, the solution to this isn't that difficult. You're simply going to start at the lowest point possible, or the point that would represent the least amount of headroom. Now, I think most building codes want to see at least 7 feet, yet I have seen them go as low as 6 feet 8 inches. So raising the entire roof structure of the patio is going to provide you with one alternative. The next alternative will be to raise a separate section like we're doing here. And again, you're going to want to start with the minimum distance and work your way towards the area that will provide you with more headroom. For example, if this area is sloping in this direction, then we're going to want to start here. If we're sloping in this direction, then we're going to want to start here. And I figured that the illustrations in this model would make more sense than me trying to describe it to you. And if you're going to continue up the side of a hill, you're just simply going to start from this point here, measure down, and level across to get the post heights that you need so that no one is going to hit their head on the beams or any other part of the structure. So that's about it for the designing part of it. There is one more thing that I wanted to explain, and that would be the fact that sometimes we're going to be able to reduce the amount of posts that we use in a project like this and concrete footings if we use a construction method like this. And all we have here is a post that's going all the way up to support this beam here, and we're going to use a inverted hanger or a concealed hanger along with a piece of hardware that's often referred to as an end column cap to support the post above. And of course, this is what the hanger would look like below. And for those of you who are not familiar with my channel, keep in mind that this is just information you might be able to use. However, you will need to check with a structural engineer to verify whether or not it can be used on your project. And of course, another method would be to use the same connection up here, except we're going to get rid of the hanger and use a 2x4 to support the weight from the other beam. And a method like this might require 16 D nails staggered 16 inches on center. However, if you are looking for something a little stronger, you can simply use a different post-based connector and a larger post, and then center everything in the footing. So for example, here we have a 4x6, here we have a 4x4, and make sure that you have the post-based connector turned in the right direction. That will always be helpful when you're building something like this. And if you can find a post to beam connector, great. If not, you can use a strap to connect the beams, and that would be the upper beam and the lower beam. And of course, we have cut a notch into the post. And for something like this, if we cut it in 2 inches or less, in between 2 inches and 1.5 inches, I believe 1.5 inches is the minimum support for a beam, then we're still going to end up with a 4x4 post or a distance of 3.5 inches after we've cut the notch to support the upper post. And hopefully by now the individual has a pretty good idea, and you, about how something like this can be built. And of course, as always, if you learned something or enjoyed the video, make sure that you let us know by hitting the thumbs up button or leave a comment in the comment area. And of course, any questions you can leave in the comment area also.